How's it going? As you know, Shauna,
Hi.
Rosemary, Pedro,
So homies.
Sadie. All right.
Yeah.
God. Hold on. Right there. So, as you guys can see, I've written about violence in video games and why you shouldn't play them. They are the future of entertainment. Video games are great for passing time, obviously. So are reading books and other forms of entertainment like that. But I feel like you can't get it as if you were to play a video game. You can immerse yourself with the world and actually get a real feel for what these things look like that you're reading about. They can teach you our history. Games like Assassin's Creed are famous for involving our history, either if it's American history, European, anything like that. Me personally, I've learned a lot from video games, and that's something that you can bring with you. One of the benefits. They're used for military training. Believe it or not, in the Army, Air Force, anything like that. Especially with drones. They're actually flown with Xbox 360 controllers, which I think is pretty cool. I wouldn't sign up for the Army just for that reason, obviously, but it's pretty cool that they are using video games because, if you want to relax or have fun, that's usually what I would do. I would play some video games, just to blow off some steam, or just to relax, play with friends. They're good for parties. Anything of the sorts. Video games are becoming really realistic. I don't know if you guys have been, up to date with any video games or anything like that, but it's crazy how realistic video games have gotten. And that can kind of be a negative to video games, as kids will see it and they'll think it's real, but it's not. It's just a video game, and I feel like that's part of the parents to explain to them why they shouldn't, believe it, or how, how that really works. The movies are also pretty realistic, and I feel like parents already explain to their kids that, hey, look, this is not real. This thing really didn't happen, and I feel like that ties into video games perfectly, as in, they're kind of the same if you really think about it. Except nowadays you even get actors in video games too. They do motion capture. And it's pretty much the same thing, but you don't get parents saying, hey, look, these video games aren't real, and I think that's one of the main misconceptions, and I feel like it's a parent's job to kind of inform their kid that, like, hey, this isn't real. You mostly hear about these popular video games, whether it's Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. They're pretty much in the limelight at all times. Since Call of Duty comes out every year, Grand Theft Auto not so often, but I'm sure you've pretty much heard of both of them, if not at least one of them. And the thing about that is, the media will probably bring these up if anything violent happens, or if you see anything bad in the limelight. Like I remember a couple of years ago, Grand Theft Auto was blamed for cyberbullying. There are some modders on the scene that, or if you know what modding is, it's like taking the game's files and modifying them to bend to your will or whatever. That ended up on the news because this girl was getting sexually assaulted on a video game. That's a whole other story though. There's also benefits to when you're playing video games. For me, I've become a lot more social because of video games. You meet a lot of people online, whether that might be good or might be bad, depending on, if you're a kid. But like I said, it's important for the parents to monitor their children and what they're doing online. And but there is many benefits to playing video games. You can become a better teammate, whether, if you're just following or listening to directions or actually giving directions, which could be good later on in life. You can vent out your emotions when you're playing video games. I know usually me, whether I'm sad or one of those, I usually just play video games, get the things off my mind, and you can break down barriers. between other people. You know, I've learned a lot about different countries just by playing video games and learning firsthand on how Europeans do things, or how their TVs work, or you know, just how their economy's doing over there as well. It's pretty nice to be social when you're playing online. That's why I love online multiplayer games. I'm sure many people would too if they just tried them out. You know, I usually blame the media for a lot of things, and especially they're always giving like video games in a bad light. And I remember a couple years ago, Manhunt was in the limelight because one of the murderers, they had Manhunt in their house. Turns out the media blamed him, you know, Manhunt for the murders. And the funny thing is that it wasn't even his game; it was his friend's game that he murdered. And you never heard the media clear up that, whoa, that's not even that guy's game or whatever. That's kind of sad, but yeah, they don't really tend to clear up things once they get all the money from the ad revenue that they would generate on their website. I feel like mental illness is probably one of the main concerns, and that I do understand. Whereas maybe if you do have these things, you should not play video games, because like I said, they're becoming more realistic, and I can see where people will be confused on why these games look so real, and whoa, like, am I actually doing these things? You know, like, I don't really know how mental illnesses work, but I'm pretty sure that would be one of the main topics to be concerned about. You know, if my kid had mental illness, I'd probably be there with him, you know, explaining things aren't real, or maybe not even just let him play video games at that point. You know those little ratings on the bottom of your game? Those are kind of helpful for parents that don't want their kids playing mature games or teen games if they're not really mature or teens yet, you know. And one of my main points is you should monitor your kids. You know, that's probably one of the biggest things you can do. If you really don't want your kids playing these games, don't let them play, or you can play while they're there. If you don't like what you see, you can turn it off, or just, you know, see how things go. That's the thing about video games, though. You can always turn them off, you know, if things get too out of hand, or if you just want your kids involved in this at this age or whatever. I understand, but these games, the kids can't buy it unless they have a parent there. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I tried to buy Grand Theft Auto by myself. My mom gave me the money. I went to Walmart, and the clerk told me I couldn't buy it unless I had a parent there. So, you know, long story short, I had to drive my mom all the way over here to Walmart just so I can get a video game. But these people enforce it, because if not, they can get into a lot of trouble. And you either have to get the game from a family member, friend, or one of your parents. And I'm pretty sure you would notice it in your house if you just monitor your kid. In conclusion, there's no proof that video games are evil, you know, which is just funny, because there's been a lot of studies that video games are good and bad for you. And like I said, kids will play whatever they want, no matter how, like, either they get it from you or a friend, but one way or another, they're going to get it. And I just feel like you should be there with them in that experience, you know, just to make sure everything goes smoothly. Or if you don't like what you see, like I said, you can take it away from them. But banning video games will definitely not help. There's always ways that you can get to video games. There's video games banned in Australia that you can still download on the Pirate Bay or whatever touring website they would use. It's crazy though, no matter if you ban the games or not, there's still ways that you can still get the game. And I really don't think that would help. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.